Guys, guys and girls, listen, I was walking out to the beach just now and I looked out across the sandbar. I could see a body flailing around. I thought, is a shark eating this person? What's happening here? And it's Melinda out there all alone out on the other side of that sandbar doing exercises on the beach. It's pretty cute. Let me see, I don't know if I can catch her or not. Oh, she done saw my video and she done jumped up and quit. It was hilarious. Woo! Sexy girl. There's Melly right over there. Melinda! Yeah, I see a lot of small fish and a lot of dead, smelly jellyfish. Yeah, that's a cool one right there. Check that out. Good morning, Mel.
Morning.
Boy, you've tightened your stomach up a bunch, hadn't you?
Huh?
Your stomach's tightened up a bunch.
How about abs?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Not abs of steel, but absolutely.
You see me abs here?
Yep. Absent.
Absent every week. Once a week.
Oh, that's funny.
I did this morning here. I just grabbed this chance.
I wonder if the solar panels charged last night by the moonlight. we need moonlight solar panels.
It is so bright last night.
It was, man. I'm telling you. I'm really curious. I'm gonna have to look sometime. I know it sounds goofy, but I seen them start charging early in the mornings when it's still pretty dark out, and they'll pick up just a little bit of light and start charging. So why not charge off moonlight? We need moonlight solar panels.
Let's find out
Yeah.
if it works.
Why are they always focusing on sun? What's wrong with the moon? Hey everybody, so I want to show you an example of how we're planning to try to form this cast form on these walls on this. So I got Joel here with me right now. He's already started working on some of the materials on this, and he kind of is my guy that always understands what my little mind is up to. So here we don't have a lot of the materials that's available in the US for cast forming, and even in the US those materials are expensive. There's different tie rods, as they call them, snap rods that you would either cut off in the cement or you would break off in the cement. But let me give you an example of what we're trying to do, and then maybe you'll also understand when I'm talking about a cast rod. So I'm going to start out. The walls are going to be formed inside outside with this plywood right here. This plywood has a poly film on it. It is a mini layered plywood, good quality, 3/4 inch, and this is supposed to be able to be used again and again for forming on cement like that, because this poly film allows it to peel loose clean from the cement without sticking. It's a newer product that showed up here in the Philippines. It may be available in the US. I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure it's probably a specially ordered material. The price on it here is not bad. I think I bought these sheets for around 1,200 pesos each, if I'm not mistaken, from All Home at Vista Mall. There's an All Home big box building store right there. So you're gonna have these two pieces here. What we'll do is, these are just example pieces, inside wall, outside wall. You're gonna line up and drill a hole all the way through. Then what I'm going to improvise with is this all thread, and here in the Philippines they call it full thread, and then there's another name that's in their local language that they call it also, but it's a piece of all thread that will go in between the two layers here. But now you need something to keep your spread on your wall. Let me see if I can hold this. So say for instance we're going to pour it 4 inches thick. we got to have something to keep that spread. You know, you want to stay perfect. So the solution for that is going to be this. We're going to cut a piece of PVC pipe. This is 1/2 inch PVC. We're going to cut a piece of PVC pipe, and we're going to put it in between. I don't have a hole drilled in these right now, but I'm going to hold it up here as an example, and maybe you can understand. Excuse me here with this. So here we go. It'll have this in between there once the holes are drilled in this. This will be in between there, and this will be your set spread right there. Now you see there's a nut on this end and a nut on this end. What we'll do is, right here where my finger is, will be a piece of 2x2 lumber. On the inside where my thumb is over here, a piece of 2x2 lumber that will be running down the back like a rib to support this plywood even more, to keep it from bowing. Then this all thread, full thread, will go through both of those pieces of 2x2, have large flat washers here on each side, and for added strength, it'll be double nutted. Run all that together, you have a locked in place wall that should be able to hold a lot of PSI pressure when you're pouring that cement, and you should come out with a nice, good, smooth, flat wall if you'll put enough of these ribs of your 2x2 on the back side of it. So that is how we're planning to cast this. Now, show you again, like that, 2x2, 2x2, running down the wall, and that should give it a lot of strength like that. The next thing is that I'm going to pour this the way they do ICFs, insulated concrete forms, the foam forms that they do there in the US and throughout Europe, a lot of places in the world now. What they'll do is they'll put those foam forms, but you don't want to put too much PSI pressure and have a blowout on that as well. So what they do is they'll form it up, and they'll start pouring, and they'll pour just a couple of feet around in the bottom. It'll start kind of firming up and setting a little bit, and then they'll come around, they'll pour up a little bit more, steps it up a little higher, it starts firming a little bit, and they pour it, and they just keep bringing that pour up, 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 and the bottom has already firmed up, and then you don't end up with so much PSI pressure, so much load for a blowout on that. And also, you don't have to have near as much support and bracing on it at that point too. So that's another thing. If you just form it all the way up 8 foot, 10 foot, whatever you're going, and you just pour a whole bunch of wetcrete in there, you have a huge hydraulic load inside of there, and it's going to take a lot of bracing. It's going to take a lot more of this material to hold that load to keep from having a blowout. And if a blowout means it buckled or pushed the form out somewhere in the concrete, has passed through and dumped out, and it may even stop, and then you're going to have a misformed wall. It's going to be ugly. It's going to take a lot of repair to fix it, and a lot of work. All right, well, that's my lesson on that today, of what we're going to be doing, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video.